All right, we're standing in the south organ chamber, pipe chamber, and as you look around you'll see some of the pipes are in place, and these strings that you see hanging down here support the pipes, the longer pipes, and quite a few of them have been taken down and in storage right now as we're working on the organ. The two chambers are basically the north chamber has the pipes that are played by the pedals, and this chamber is the main chamber for all the keyboard action. And where I'm standing is what was called a primary air chest, which bolts to these slotted holes that you see here. That signal, when that key is pressed, it causes a valve to open in the primary air chest, and each of these slots represents basically a note. When the air is allowed to evacuate from this slot, it causes a valve underneath the toe board to allow air into the organ pipes. This is a toe board. In this case we've got the pipe rack removed, which is this dark board here, and again the dark board is just to support it, but the holes you see here are where the pipes fit in and receive air. To give you some idea what we're talking about, this is a 10-rank organ, 10 ranks with 61 notes per rank, so we've got 610 pipes involved here in making this work. Now each pipe has a leather pouch valve located underneath it, which allows air into the pipe, and then in the primary each note has two pouch valves associated with it plus a solenoid valve. So if you begin to multiply that times 610 pipes, you understand how many pneumatic circuits have to be repaired and made airtight. And one of our most serious problems that we're having right now is trying to get this old chest, the air chest, the main air chest and the primary air chest airtight. Now if we remove this, and my fingers are on the little pallets which open, allow air from this chamber to go through into this hole, up through the toe board, and then it causes the pipe to sound. There have been a number of modifications made. For instance, this particular toe board, someone had taken apparently a hand plane and cut the board down on the sides. It has to seal against the leathers here, here, and here, and every one of these holes have to be carefully sealed so that you don't have leakage air, and frankly we're having an awful lot of leakage in this. We have been able to locate a new, or I should say a perhaps 1920s version. This is probably, most of the equipment you see here dates from 1914, but we have located a new primary air chest which will be moving in here. Typically the primary air chest is bolted to the main air chest with bolts that go through the primary air chest, and then we have brass inserts located in the wood itself. They have tightened the inserts in an attempt to get the air leaks done. They've tightened so tight that they actually pulled the brass inserts out. We have repaired some of them here. Mark has been working on various techniques. We have one back here that just had a wood screw through it, and he had to put a wood block in there. Unfortunately that's cracked, so We'll probably have to, Mark will probably have to take that wood block back out of there. The air that's in the key channels goes down through from the primary box, down through, and then flows through a slotted board underneath the main action boards. Then each of those channels opens up underneath one of these leather pouches, which is probably very difficult to see here, but it's a red, in this case it's a red leather pouch that you see down below. So these are the boards that go underneath the main air chest that carry the air from the key channels. Air is going down through these slots, moving down through the board, and every one of these holes lines up with a pouch to activate the key, the pallet, which opens the valve to make the note sound. So all of this, you can't have any air leakage between these two, or you get two notes playing simultaneously. You can't have air leaks out here because it just goes out into the atmosphere. We've got to get under there and fix quite a few of the brass inserts underneath the board. Looks like there's 8 of these boards. Someone has gone in, re-leathered some of the pouches, but they didn't put the tie between the two valves. So we're trying to decide whether we're going to have to take this all apart in order to put this tie in here, so that these valves, both sides are sounded again at the same time, so that it doesn't open too wide to overblow the pipe and change the pitch on it. We do have an agreement to buy some replacement pipes from Quimby. Probably buy them on an as-needed basis. We can see here the damage that was done after the pipe was removed. Mark Chaudier believes that a lot of these he can make them round again, solder them back together. Here you're looking into the console, and originally keys, and there was an action board across here that had a whole set of switches on it located here, and these originally were all mechanical contacts. When this came back to us from St. Louis, all the mechanical contacts had been taken out of the organ, out of the console, and these electronic controls here have been added, and it's part of the new feature. We have no way of going back to trying to resurrect the original mechanical parts because they were taken out in St. Louis and long gone, so we're going to have to move ahead with an electronic components. We're going to have to build a new board and put pickup magnets on every one of these keys. Then we'll have to mount a circuit board that will, when the key is raised, it will close a gap and cause a signal to be generated that's picked up. We've got our pedals up here. The pickups for the pedals were installed when we received it, although we think we'll have to go back and rework all of the pickups because the spacing between the magnetic the magnets on the pedal and the electronic card is according to the specs not right. Below here is a box, and this is called I believe the term is a tremolo. Basically, when it's energized, it causes a wavering sound in the music or in the sound coming from the pipes. We're going to have to get into that, rework all the leathers. Have tears in them, so this has to be reworked and tightened up, and then we have to remount so that it operates our shutters or our dampers. The unit has the primary chest, which would be sitting on top of here and basically taking up the space where I'm standing, runs the length of this. It's not the original manufacturer's product. Here we have the primary air chest that we've been talking about. Half of it's here, half of it's over this one. It was cut in half This seems to have been built in someone's garage, and you can see that the complexity is nowhere near the same amount of material in it. An Aeolian, original Aeolian wind chest that we were able to purchase from the Quinby company out of Warrensburg. The box itself has probably almost twice as material in it. Well, first of all, we'll have to go in and rewire all connections to the solenoids because the wires have just been cut off. They use a leather nut that holds the operators in place. A few of those are missing, have just deteriorated due to age, and we'll also have to do an air check on all the 244 or so pouches. All those leathers will have to be checked to see if any of those have deteriorated and started leaking, and if they have, we'll have to replace any that are damaged. From being shipped to St. Louis and brought back, we believe most of the console is here. It's maybe someday we may want to refinish this, but that's not part of the plan at this point. The major plan is just to try to get it all working again, and